Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'm going to take a return back to Russia and take a look at their new single meal ration. I believe this is favoured with their reserve forces but also other units within their regular army. So let's get this on a table and see what the pack contains. I have here on the table the new Russian I.R.P, and I believe this one is actually potentially for the National Guard and Reservist units, but it's probably also used within their main regular army as well. Now this particular one is very fresh. It has a production date of 05/18 and an expiry date of March 20. So very fresh, very new. Now on the back you have a list of contents, and it just goes down for which items you have in each menu number, and this particular menu is a menu 3. So let's get this open and see what the pack contains. Now there is a peelable strip at the top corner, and the bag itself feels like it's got a resealable seal, so let's just use the peelable strip, and that was a fail. Let's see if it's got one on the other side. It has, and again not very good at the peelable strip, so I think we'll bring in the trusty knife. And it does have a resealable seal. So a basic looking box. Try and find the way in. Okay, so what have we in here? Let's move the box to one side. Straight off the top we have the trusty old stove and some fuel blocks. I think that is a pot of the vegetable caviar. We have a tea. I'm not sure if that is a sugar. Feels like it's sugar. I'll do a translate in a minute. I'm not sure what that is. I would have thought it was a beverage powder, but it actually feels liquid, so I'd be interested to do a translation on that one and find out what that actually is. Could be the apple butter, maybe, apple jam. If it is, it's in a new style packet. There is the mains, which I believe is a buckwheat and beef, a kasha. There is 2 packets of crackers. Pair of wet naps, the standard Russian spoon, a very small single sheet or napkin, very small. Put that under there, somewhere to put it for now. We have what I think is a salt and pepper. There is the little tool for opening the packets. And there's quite a few labels and instruction sheets. It's actually 2, 3, 4 sets of information and instruction sheets, and that's the contents of the box. So that is the contents of the new National Guard or Reservist I.R.P. So let's get these out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. So, as you can see, I now have everything laid out on the tray, and I've done a little bit of translation, and this is actually apple butter, just in a different style pack I've not seen before, and the longer pack is sugar. So, there is only one drink in this little pack, so I think we'll start making the tea. It's a very basic pack. One meal, and I think the packet says 1,300 calories. So there's a very standard looking tea bag there, and I'll quickly get that topped off. And we'll just leave that there to do its thing. So let's start opening up the packages. I think we'll open the vegetable caviar. I've had this before, it's usually pretty good if it's the same style. I've actually left this cold, I've not warmed it. It looks more like a vegetable pate, slightly different to the last one I had. It looks very nice. And I'll just take the corner off the apple jam or apple butter. Place that there for a moment, ready to use in a minute. And I think we'll just open one crackers. It did come with 2 packets of crackers, but we should open just one. This is everything that was in the ration, apart from the wet naps, the stove, and 1 extra pack of crackers. So, straight to the mains. Now I think this is a buckwheat and beef porridge, or kasha. My last experience of kasha wasn't very good. It was very wet, very runny. Everyone tells me they should be full of flavour and a lot thicker, and this certainly looks like that. Just use the spoon there. Much thicker, very thick, very stodgy. Smells a lot better. Big chunks of beef. This looks a much better buckwheat and beef than my previous experience. I think that was from the Estonia ration. Okay, so I do actually have another Russian spoon from a previous pack, so I should just use that to give the tea a little bit of a stir. And we'll start with the tea. Nice and dark. Not sharp, not bitter. Nice flavour of tea. Sort of thing that we drink here in the UK all the time. Decent quality, decent flavour. Doesn't necessarily need the sugar, which is unusual for me. I do like sugar in my tea, but I will open the sugar and add a little. It's a large pack, certainly won't be needing all of that. I'll just give it a small amount. Let's have another taste now. Just sweetens it as you'd expect. Nice, decent tea. So, because it's here, let's have a look at this vegetable caviar. As I say, I've not warmed it up. I believe you could warm it or eat it cold. I'm eating it cold today. Different take on the last one I had. There's definitely tomatoes in there, I think. Aubergine or eggplant. Plenty of salt, plenty of pepper. I think in this case I've made a mistake by not warming it. It's got a set texture to it, which I think if it was warmed it would go thinner and smoother. It's quite coarse, but still very pleasant vegetable side dish. We'll have a look at the crackers. Put the quite firm, quite hard. Let's have a taste with the caviar. I think it's as hard as the infamous Panzer Plate crackers, which we all know and love, but because it's thinner, it's much more manageable, much more easy to eat. A couple piece on its own there. Very similar to what we have here in the UK called a cream cracker, which means it has a nicer, lighter flavour than most. Very nice, very palatable, very firm, but because of the thinness, much easier to eat. Okay, so let's have a look at the mains. It's quite firm, much more firmer than my last experience of this. Nice smell, large chunks of beef. If you can see there, some nice chunks of beef. Very dry looking, very dry. Let's have a taste. Very dry. Much better than my last experience. Much more flavour. There's salt in there, there's pepper in there, some herbs and spices. Not many, not many. It's very, very delicate. Try a bit of the beef there. Well cooked, tender, soft. I think it is spiced enough in my opinion. It's very dry, could do with a little bit of sauce, a bit of gravy. But far better experience than my last clasher. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper just because I've got it. Perfectly palatable without. But because I've got it, I'll try it. A little bit of pepper there. A little bit of salt, try not to go overboard. Let's have another taste of that. Just gives it another little lift in flavour. Not really needed. It's perfectly good on its own. Just very dry in this time. Much more flavour, much more palatable. Just very dry. But very filling. Very filling. Very soft. Very soft buckwheat. Just clear my palate. Nice tea. Good quality tea. Try a little bit of this caviar with the porridge, the buckwheat. Just moisten it a little.
think if I'd have warmed this, it would have made a nice gravy or a nice bit of moisture to mix in. Certainly moistens up the grains, gives it a little bit more flavour, a good improver, but really could do with being warmed. Much better with the addition of a little bit of moisture. Really flavourful compared to my last experience. Let's try a little bit of that on the crackers. Complement each other very well. Very well. Try another one of those. Very pleasant. Very nice. I have to excuse me there. Took a big mouthful again. Took a while for me to chew. So have a look at this apple butter. Go straight on the cracker. I think this would be the standard apple butter we all know and love. Very difficult to get out of this pack. Very difficult. There we go. Doesn't look as dark as the previous apple butter I've had. A little bit lighter in texture and colour. Slightly different texture to my previous encounter with this Russian apple jam, apple butter, but still very, very tasty, very nice. Not overly sweet, doesn't seem as sweet as previous versions, but still very nice, very tasty apple flavoured jam. Goes great on the crackers. Just to clean my palate again. So, very simple meal. I'm going to leave it there. Brief recap. The tea, nice quality, nice flavour, good English style tea. The sugar helped a little, but it was still very, very pleasant without the sugar. A nice, well-rounded tea drink. The vegetable caviar, lighter in colour than what I remember from previous experiences, and I didn't warm it, and I think that was a mistake. I think I should have warmed it. Creamy, slightly coarse in texture, plenty of salt, plenty of pepper. You can taste eggplant or aubergine, there's tomatoes and various other vegetables in there. Made a very nice moistening agent for the buckwheat porridge. Very nice, very pleasant. The buckwheat porridge, or is it kasha? Very dry, but a lot more flavour than my last experience. The grains are soft, the meat is soft, very flavourful, very filling. Very nice, enjoyable meal. Really benefited from a little bit of salt and pepper and the addition of some moisture. Really makes it into a much more palatable dish. Crackers, hard but manageable because of the thinness. Nice flavour, nice quality, went really well with all of the other ingredients. Very nice crackers. Can't remember if I did the apple butter, but if I did I apologise, I'm going over again. New style bag from what I've seen before and tasted before. The contents also look different, so there must be a new manufacturer. Lighter in colour, not quite as sweet, but still very, very pleasantly sweet. a very nice flavoured apple butter as always. Just a slightly different brand perhaps than the previous ones, but still very, very nice. Okay, so that is the contents of the Russian I.R.P, National Guard or Reservist ration. Very simple but very pleasant and enjoyable. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.